Hello and welcome into the Knicks-Verse pregame show for Game 6 of Round 2, Knicks versus Miami in Miami. This is a game that the Knicks had to force on Game 5, obviously on their own home court. They took it down to Miami. Now the question remains, do the Knicks have enough in the tank to get this back to Game 7? That is the big question. Number one, welcome into the Knicks-Verse. My name is George. Please subscribe, hit the thumbs up button for me, and drop your comments. And this is it, man. We've been waiting. This is the game. This is probably the biggest. This is going to be the biggest, most difficult game for this current Knicks team all season. There's no doubt about it. It is going to be incredibly difficult. But we're going to break it down. Shout out to the chat. See Juan Carlos. What's up, brother? Kudos to you, man. Oh, man. So Vegas has the Heat up. They think the Heat's going to win this game. And it makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense when you consider several factors. For one, they're the home team. So they get that advantage. Number two, the Knicks are battling with a very short rotation. No Manuel Quickly, who was a Sixth Man of the Year candidate. Very big loss for us right now. So it shortened our rotation. We have a very short rotation. And on top of that, we just played two guys just 2 nights ago, a total of all 48 minutes. So I'm sure Vegas is probably factoring all those issues in, and the fact that the Knicks are on the road. Like I said before, home team usually has the advantage. What's up, Splash? Good to see you, man. But it is Friday night Knicks. I love when the Knicks play on Friday night. I'm expecting the Knicks to come out with a lot of fire and desire. I'm expecting the team that we saw in the last 3 quarters of the previous game to carry over into this game. I hope that the Knicks get off to a good start. And I hope that Thibs doesn't actually play Brunson and Grimes 48 minutes. I think we could have an effective lineup out there that can buy some time for Brunson, some minutes. First of all, beginning with Deuce. Deuce is not a liability defensively at all. In fact, he's a jump up defensively from when Brunson's on the court. So I don't think, we're talking about trying to buy Brunson at least 8 minutes of rest. Deuce can do that. There's no doubt Deuce can do that. But he's going to need one of the other two on the court, either Randall or RJ on the court while Deuce is out there. Someone that he can go to because right now, Grimes isn't necessarily a go-to. Hart definitely is not. We know our centers are not. They're not guys that you can just dump the ball to and hope that they can turn something out of nothing. RJ actually has been pretty good at that this season. I'll show you some stats. I have really interesting stats about this conference semifinals round to take you guys through. But in general, I feel confident, but at the same time, I'm not gonna overdo it either. This is to be very realistic. Winning a Game 6 on the road to a team that has taken care of business against you. We lost both games down in Miami previously, so it's not going to be easy at all. And you know that Miami's going to come and try to bring their A game. There is no doubt, ifs, ands, or buts about it. They're going to try to bring their A game tonight. They're going to treat this as if it is a Game 7, which we need to be coming in treating it as if it's a Game 7 anyway, because it is for us. We're the ones still on the brink of elimination. That is right. So in some ways, it almost the momentum is in our favor, because now Miami has to generate momentum. Now, they're a very well-seasoned team. They're incredibly well experienced in playoff basketball, especially Jimmy Butler and Bam, that unit. Tyler Hero as well, but he's not playing, so it's not. But Kyle Lowry has years of playoff experience. Kevin Love as well. So we're playing against some savvy players, savvy vets. And so we are going to have to play. Basically, we're going to have to play the same type of game that we played before in Game 5, but better. We're going to have to play better. And a lot of that's going to start with some key things. Number one, the turnovers. Sharing the ball, The defensive intensity, staying connected to your defender, to your man when you're the defender. All of these issues, we're going to break them down. Let's get into it. What's up? Shout out to the chat. We see buzzer beaters in the house. We got David L in the house, man. Hope you guys are all feeling good. I'm loving it. I mean, I'm loving the situation. I'm loving what the Knicks showed us in Game 5. And actually, today is my son's birthday. I hope that the Knicks deliver a win for him. His RJ Barrett jersey arrived today, just in time. And I was talking to him before, and one thing he did say, he goes, I hope we win tonight. I really hope we win tonight. But I'm so relieved we won Game 5. And so for him, to him, it's almost like the Knicks proved something. So our belief in this team was reaffirmed by that win in Game 5. So now, let's see if we can build on that, get a nice Game 6 win. Let's see. If you guys have any major questions or whatever, just drop them in the chat, and I'll get to it as soon as I can. Let's get to a couple of things here. Let's get to this here. I love this back cover. New York Post. 6 on the beach. There we go. Brunson, Barrett, and Butler. Which, I'll tell you, interestingly enough, wouldn't it be funny if that was the team next season? Oh, did I say that? All right. But the season's on the line. Can the Knicks take care of business and get this to Game 7? Oh, we want a Game 7 on Monday. Well, one thing I want to show you before we move forward on this to the bigger stats. Here we go. Michael Groggins tweeted this out, and it's someone commented on a tweet of his. So, Daniel, it's Jimmy Butler's playoff, which I'm sure is a Miami Heat fan. He tweeted out, so what Tyler Hero done that 2 seasons in a row? And then Groggins responded, RJ Barrett has 4 games this series. He actually meant this playoffs with 24-plus points. Tyler Hero has 3 games with 24-plus points in his entire playoff career. 41 games. So, in my opinion, the comparison of Tyler Hero and RJ Barrett ended during this playoff season. It ended. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. RJ Barrett is the more productive player in the playoffs. That's it. Numbers don't lie. Numbers don't lie. What's up, brothers? Let me show you this. Now, this are some team stats that I pulled off of NBA.com. These are some advanced stats here. Conference semifinal stats. So, number 1 in field goal percentage. Obviously, it makes a lot of sense. Denver Nuggets, especially if you watched them play last night. My God, they were outstanding. They closed it out. They're the only team to advance so far into the conference finals. Denver Nuggets, who at this point, the way things are going, they're my pick to go all the way through to the finals. They're my pick, though the Lakers and Warriors are still very much alive, and you never know. It's hard to rule out teams like that, especially if they're not dealing with injuries or anything like that. Those are still very dangerous teams, so it's going to be any one of those 3, obviously. Nuggets, Lakers, or Warriors. I got my money on Warriors winning tonight. I think they take care of business, and they get this thing to a Game 6. To a Game 7 themselves. They're playing a Game 6 as well. I can see them getting it to a Game 7. But Lakers have a chance to close it out tonight. So we will see about that. But as it runs down the field goal percentage, you can see the Miami Heat actually have the worst field goal percentage of the conference semifinal teams. The Knicks aren't much better. They're tied with the Sixers, just one notch up, 51.1%. So these 2 teams have been struggling from shooting. They've just been struggling. It's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Now the question is, are they struggling because they just can't shoot, or are they struggling because the teams are playing some excellent defense? I think it's a ratio of, there's definitely been some games and some periods where the teams just cannot shoot. I mean, the Knicks have had some terrible shooting games. I think we shot like 18% one game from the 3-point line, maybe even 10%. I mean, something atrocious. But in this series alone, we already have 2 of the 5 games where the Knicks have shot over 40% from the 3-point line. So things are starting to even out. That's the one thing. I was talking about this earlier as well, where people were like freaking out about how the Knicks just can't shoot. You hear the pundits talk about it. Well, that's not the reality. That's not the reality. That's just they haven't been shooting well in the playoffs. Well, the playoffs are also a very short sample size, and there's a lot of external factors. One is, well, for one, guys like Quickly, now he's hurt, but when he was playing, he was missing everything. So that definitely impacts your overall percentages. But in general, over enough time, things do revert back to the norm, unless someone just catches fire and just takes off, and that can happen. That can totally happen. But in general, things tend to even out, and we're seeing it here. As you can see, look, the Nuggets, Celtics, Warriors, they're in the top echelon of the field goal percentage, and that makes a lot of sense. And the guys in the bottom four, they belong in the bottom four. That makes a lot of sense. It's kind of more true to the way they were throughout the season. But next thing, let's look at this. The free throw attempt rate. The Knicks are number one in the conference semifinals, and the Heat are number two. So that means we're fouling each other more than the other teams are fouling each other. Now, is that because, the NBA has decided to keep a tight leash on this team, on this series, on these two teams, and which then, in essence, the inversion is that it results in more free throw attempts. But we are by far way ahead of that next group right there, like from 2 to 6 on this list. The Heat, Lakers, Nuggets, Sixers, and Celtics. They're all kind of clustered together, and we are heads and tails above them, and that's something fantastic, and that's something we've got to keep going. And a lot of that is Jalen Brunson and RJ Barrett putting the pressure, that paint pressure, the rim pressure that those two provide, even though Miami's a very good defensive team, and they've been able to stop us and impede us. However, we get to the free throw line, and that is essential for us to continue doing. We have to maintain that advantage, because the next category, which is turnover percentage, is very distressing, but it's also something that I believe Knicks could easily clamp down on in this game. So right now, the Heat are right up there in the top, only with an 11.8 turnover percentage. That means the amount of time that they have a possession that turns into a turnover. The Knicks, 15.5% of the time. Yeah, that's rough. That's rough. We're low. And that, by the way, is much worse than it was during the regular season. Now, a lot of that is the going up against some excellent defense like the Miami Heat have. So that's going to, we're going to commit more turnovers. But we got to control the ball more, protect the possession, and that's what I said in the previous preview of the series. We must protect our possessions, and I would love to. Hopefully, we'll see that again tonight, because that is essential. Same as offensive rebounding percentage. Now, we're first, which we should be. We were first in the regular season. We're first here. But Miami Heat, they're up there. They're only 2 percentage points behind us in offensive rebounding. So we need to do a better job on the defensive glass to get those rebounds. And part of that, I laid it out as well previously. We need our guys to kind of drift in towards the free throw line, towards the paint, towards that mid-range area. Once a three-point shot, by a Miami three-point shot goes in the air, we need to have at least 2 guys drift into that space. No leaking out, no just standing around hoping. No, get proactive, try to box out, but fill those spaces to get those mid-sized to long-range rebound attempts. And that'll help us tremendously to get Miami Heat's offensive rebounding percentage down. We need it down into those 20s is what we need. Then, one thing I want to look at, here are the stats, the player stats for this series. Jalen Brunson, fantastic, averaging 29 points per game on 47.6% field goal shooting. But the three-point shooting hasn't been there for him, 30.8%. That is something that is an area of improvement. He is too good a three-point shooter to stay down there. So I believe that can easily come up in tonight's game and in Monday's game when we get to a Game 7. The second leading scorer for the Knicks is R.J. Barrett, 22.8 points per game. And the beautiful thing about this, guys, is that it's answered a major, major question that we have all had. When it comes to money time, can RJ deliver? Does he have the ability, the physicality? We were worried about his limited athleticism. We were worried about his outside shot. We were worried about his playmaking. Well, all those things have become non-concerns. In fact, they've all become pluses. And if you look at it here, RJ is the number one three-point shooting player on our team. He's averaging 41.2%. He's the top three-point shooter in this conference semifinals. Number three in scoring is Randall, 19.8 points. If Randall just stays healthy, keeps it composed and together, and he gives us anywhere from 20 to 25 points. And the same with R.J. Barrett, 20 to 25 points. And Jalen Brunson, he's going to have to give us like 35 points. We can win this game. If we protect the ball, if we don't turn it over, and we keep the Miami Heat off the offensive glass, we do those 5 things, no matter what happens. I mean, if Miami still beats us and we do all those 5 things, then that's what happened. Then they beat us. But if our 3 main guys deliver, RJ and Randall combined to give us 45 to 50 points together, those two, and then Brunson gives us, I'm going to say 35, at least 35. That happens, those 3 things happen, and then we keep Miami off the offensive glass, and we don't turn over the ball unless, we control the ball, we take care of the ball, we will win this game. It's just the way it's going to be. I'm like putting it out there. As you can see, like I said before, 3-point shooting. RJ's the only one shooting over 40%. But we know, like Grimes, he caught fire a little bit previously. I think Brunson has room to grow. I think Obi Toppin. We know that Obi Toppin is someone who can string together 3-point makes in a row. We are missing Quickly is painful, but Quickly's production from the outside has been painful as well this series. He's 5.3 attempts, and he's only making 18.8%. So in that respect, we have the guys that we need. We have the guys that we need out there to control this part of the game. Let's move on to the next. Now let's look at the Miami Heat stats. Jimmy Butler's averaging 24.8 points per game. And so you can see we already have RJ. We have Jalen Brunson is averaging a lot higher. And get to this here. Bam is at 17.8 points. Max Strus, 14.8. He's taken over the role of the Tyler Hero in this situation. We need to keep this guy down. We cannot let him go off. Same with Lowry or Caleb Martin and Gabe Vincent and Duncan Robinson, all those guys, every guy there. But you can see their impact is not as devastating as you would think based upon what we've watched on the court. But look at the 3-point shooting. 3-point shooting, Hayward Highsmith, but he barely even averages 1 attempt per game. So that's crazy right there. But Max Strus, 38.1%. Caleb Martin, 36%. But everyone else is below what they should be. Lowry, 34.6. Duncan Robinson, even with the shooting he did before, 28.6%. Gabe Vincent is down to 27.8% 3-point shooting. So the Knicks have done a good job of neutralizing him. And same with his regular field goal percentage. The reason I'm showing this, and Kevin Love as well, 21.4%. And Jimmy Butler's at 16.7% from the 3-point line. The reason I'm showing this is because Miami was a terrible 3-point shooting team. Terrible in the regular season. Yes, they caught fire in the postseason, but like I said earlier when I opened, eventually things start evening out. So we've seen that Miami Heat is not the 3-point shooting threat that we fear, that we need to fear. But it doesn't mean we can give them open looks, especially specific guys like Caleb Martin and Max Strus. When those guys are open, they hit their shots. But when they're contested, they miss. So it's really simple. We got to keep the pressure on them. But those, to me, are the 2 main guys to be concerned with. Of course, we can't let anyone get off early. That's no way. We have to rattle their cage. We have to make them nervous, because then that gets Duncan Robinson out on the court more. And during Game 5, they put Duncan Robinson on Jalen Brunson, and vice versa. We put Brunson on Duncan Robinson, which was great because once Jalen was able to chase him off the three-point line, Duncan Robinson, once he's inside the arc, he's basically working for us. He's working for us. He's helping us. Let me just take a break here to shout out to the chat. I see we got Ronald Clark. We got Juan Suarez. What's up, brother? You're in Miami, and my friends are concerned over Foster. Yes, be concerned over Scott Foster. David L. NASA from NYC. What's up, man? Good to see you. Vance McCrae. Thibs versus Spo is the matchup to watch. I sense a coaching move that will greatly affect this game incoming. I just hope Thibs is up to the challenge. Me too, brother. Me too. Where else are we going to go? Let's go to the next stat here. So this is just to give you guys a little taste. These are the top three-point shooters in the conference semifinals that have attempted at least 5 attempts or more. All right, because volume is important here. And you can see number 1 is Malcolm Brogdon, and he was incredible last night. He basically helped keep the Celtics in the game while Tatum was struggling tremendously to find a shot. And then look what happened. Eventually, Tatum caught fire in the 4th. That's why you need everybody ready and willing and able to contribute. Because your stars, they don't always have it all 48 minutes. So other guys have to step up to buy them time for the others to get hot. And we've seen RJ do it in verse for Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson didn't get off to a great start, and then he had a tremendous, I believe he had a great fourth quarter or third quarter, I can't remember exactly, but you guys know what I'm talking about. Here you can see RJ is number 5 in three-point shooting percentage in the conference semifinals. Right there with 41.2%. And Max Strus is number 7, and Caleb Martin is 10th. Then the next one is Kyle Lowry right there, and below that is Julius Randle at 32% and Jalen Brunson at 30.8%. Now, is there a greater probability that both Randle and Brunson will shoot better than they've been averaging? Absolutely. We saw it in the last game. So we see signs of life of the Knicks that had one of the top 5 offensive rating teams of all time. Since the offensive rating stat has been kept, the Knicks finished with the top 5 of all time. Now the Kings finished number 1, and they're out of the series, so obviously got to play defense. But we have technically an excellent offense. However, it's predicated on second chance opportunities. It's predicated on hustle, on causing turnovers, and attacking that offensive glass. So that's what makes, because we're not a legendary outstanding shooting team. We're a great scoring team. So, but it requires these other elements, these other opportunities. So this is what I'm expecting. I'm expecting a good shooting game from the Knicks tonight. That's what I'm expecting. All right, and I showed you this stat here before. Let's get back over here to I love that thing, man. It makes me laugh so much. All right, so a couple thoughts here. It would be nice to see some more small ball earlier. We've seen it twice already in Game 4. We saw some of it towards the end of that game, and in Game 5, we saw a little bit of it. I would like to see more small ball. When Obi Toppin is on the court, things are just much more fluid on the offensive end because he's constantly moving around. He doesn't hold on to the ball very long at all. Constant movement, and that's why the Knicks, when we were down 10 at the beginning of the second quarter, in game was it game 4? No, it was game 5. God, losing track for all these games. The team just took off. It was a fantastic stretch of play, and Grimes is now feeling like he took that knee supplement. He had the play of the game. I thought he had the play maybe of the year for us when he bumped his knee and then he caused that turnover. That was a fantastic moment. But I really believe that Obi Toppin is going to have a decent game here today. Yeah, we need someone's got to step up. Someone's got to be the surprise. So it could be everybody. I mean, everyone should give us a plus game. But guys who can really pop and give us some solid minutes are guys like Obi, and we need Josh Hart to dial it down. I made the whole joke in the last post game about he's got it up to 11, like from Spinal Tap. No. He's got to dial it down to 9.5. That's what we need him at. He was making silly mistakes, silly fouls, and he was disrupting the vibe, which is of our team. What he's known for is disrupting the vibe of the opponent when he comes in. He gets that offensive rebound that just shatters their soul. Well, unfortunately, the past couple of games, it's been the reverse. Past 3 games, he has negatively impacted the Knicks. So I'm waiting and looking for and expecting a bounce back game from Josh Hart. I would love for him to have his best playoff game of so far. That's what tonight. We're going to need it because we're down Emmanuel quickly. And he's pivotal. Even though he wasn't shooting well, his ability to run the offense when Brunson's not on the floor, his ability to hit a big 3-point shot, even though his percentages haven't been there, but he'll hit it, he'll take it when we need it, and his ability to break down a defense and get into the lane with his floaters. And then there's his outstanding defense, which never wavered. His defense is beyond compare at this moment. So we'll see if Thibs is going to play Deuce in the interim. We'll see. I'm expecting that we're going to see a few minutes of Deuce, but you never know. You never know how this game flows. If we're able to build a nice, 15-point lead, maybe even a 10-point lead by the end of the first quarter, then I can see Brunson resting for a few minutes while Deuce comes in. But other than that, this is a do-or-die game. Win or go home. You have plenty of time to rest later. As long as you're not hurting yourself by playing, this is the time when you play as many minutes as you possibly can. And you have your best players out there. But there's other smarter ways. Well, not smarter, but there's other alternatives to how to approach all of that. And as you notice, Thibs was calling a lot of timeouts earlier on, especially in that first quarter and second quarter in the first half. And a lot of that is to buy rest for Brunson and for Grimes. Those timeouts are basically basically subbing someone out and sitting them down. So if I'm expecting to see more of that as well. Let's see what we got here. We got Duran Osman. What's up? Hoping Miami's shooting comes back down to earth. It's starting to. That's one thing. It's starting to come back down to earth, which is great. Got here. If Thibs, we got Jay Brony Z. If Thibs can get Deuce 5-6 minutes at his game to give JB a quick blow would be very beneficial, especially if he's guarding Lowry and Strauss. Absolutely. Here's another thing. I mean, I pointed all these things out in the previous game preview, and almost all of them have to be done because I didn't necessarily see them make these adjustments. But I don't want to see Brunson running around the court on defense, going from one end to the other. I don't want to see him over helping. He doesn't provide as much anyway. Once in a while, okay, but in general, no. And I don't want to see anybody over helping. All right, no double teaming Jimmy unless. Unless you only have to take a step or two away from your guy, that's one thing. But if you're running, 6 feet, 7 feet over to get over to Jimmy to double team him, by the time you're there, he's already got a response to it. So that's a waste of time, in my opinion. Let our guys, Grimes and Hart and RJ, let them deal with Jimmy. We just need to keep Jimmy from going. We need to keep Jimmy from going for 40. That's the key. We keep Jimmy down 25, 30. That's where we need to be. Where he's still having a good game, still having a productive game, but he's not having a monster game. And also, there's something that happens when Jimmy starts getting into that vibe where he's just taking over a game. The rest of the Heat players, they feed off of that. They get confidence off of that. We cannot let them do that. This game is mostly played in terms of runs, and we have to limit Miami's runs. And the way you do that is by getting stops. And if you are compromising your defense, crippling your ability to guard by over-helping and double-teaming and triple-teaming unnecessarily, you're going to get burned eventually. One thing I did see that was nice from the Knicks is a little more connectiveness, a little more playing on a string. That definitely impacted why the Knicks were able to win the last game. And the other thing is, the Knicks are actually, in general, throughout these playoffs, the Knicks are playing some of the best defense out there. I'd say the Lakers, the Knicks, the Heat. I think these guys, we're the teams playing the best defense. That's it. So we got to just stay in that realm. We can't give up. We can't give up wide open looks to guys like Kevin Love, Max Strus, and Kyle Lowry. That's a kiss of death. And of course Duncan Robinson as well. No wide open looks like that. Let's see. Chat to ask a question. Somebody wants love advice. That's funny. Shout out to Lex the Destroyer. What's up, brother? Good to see you. Thank you so much. Best mod around. Yes, smash that like button for me. Definitely appreciate that. Let's see. So, man. Splash 1976 says Obi needs to play with RJ and McBride. Yeah, I'd love to see that. And we're probably gonna see that. I have a feeling Deuce is gonna play at least a few minutes. I think he's gonna play at least a few minutes. Let's see here. Have a beer, watch the Knicks, and let it go, brother. I'm doing Coke Zero right now. Best. Let's go check the. One thing. Where was I here?
And so Evans proven thing. I thought the second.
Here we go. So Emmanuel Quickley is officially out for tonight, and is that amazing? That bring it. That's interesting. Yeah, Emmanuel Quickley's out for tonight, which is a big bummer. But I did not really. I was just praying for a miracle. I did not expect him to be available for tonight's game. There we go. One thing I want to look at here is right here. Oh yeah, Clyde's. Look at that. Look at that drip. Beautiful. It's awesome. Let me go back over here. There was another announcement. I cannot find it here. Oh, look at that. Oh, CP's got his Ewing jersey out. Nice. There's RJ loading. Practicing. Nice. Be beautiful to see RJ hit 5 3-pointers tonight. There's more pressure, ironically, I think, on the Heat in this game. And I'll explain. They're the ones who took the 3-1 lead. They're the ones with the game at home. They're the ones that know that if they don't take care of business at home, then they got to come to the Garden to win a Game 7 with our fans, the vibe that'll be happening, the intensity. They could be looking at this as like, you know what, this is the game. This is the game. And they felt that about Game 5. They wanted to win Game 5, and they couldn't do it. So this is a very similar situation. Now, our guys, of course, they're also playing with a gun to their head because it's do or die for them. And technically, they are on the brink. Miami's not on the brink. They have the cushion of one more game, but that kind of works against you, knowing that you got that one little cushion. That could work against you. The Knicks, no, they don't. So they know that they're coming out putting it all on the court. Now Miami can say they're going to put it all on the court as well, but it's you know how the human mind works. They still know that it's not the end for them. And teams just play differently when their backs up are against the wall. And we saw how the Knicks responded. we saw they respond. They built a 19-point lead on this Miami Heat team. Now they had to hang on to win it at the end, but they built a 19-point lead on that team, and I'm sure they feel confident that they can repeat that. Remember, it's not like there are going to be too many adjustments. I don't see Eric Spoelstra making many adjustments. It's more like leaning into what works, leaning into what has worked for them. So let's hope that our guys come through. The fans, yeah, that's Miami. That's Miami's fans there. All right, I was hoping that there was another announcement of some sort we can look at here. Let's see. Oh, JD put up key number 1. Tom Thibodeau. Spo will attack Brunson, take ball away. Must have team prepared for the kitchen sink. Key 3, 3-point defense. Key 3, whatever it takes. That's right. Whatever it takes, man. Whatever it takes. That's what we need. Oh, man, that's kind of funny. In case you joined the stream later, just repeat these quick stats here. These are the team stats for the conference semifinals. As you can see, field goal percentage, the Knicks are a little bit ahead of the Heat here. And then, but free throw rate, we're owning. We are owning. We got to keep getting to the free throw line. That was the beauty of Game 5. And now we got Forster is the ref tonight, so that's going to help us. And Miami Heat, even though Miami Heat are number 2 in free throw attempt rate, that's a big gap right there. It's almost a .06. Yeah, it is a .062. So that's significant. And then in turnover percentage, we're way below where we want to be, and that's something that we can definitely improve upon. Just going to run through these quick again. Fresh reminder for people who may have missed it. Hey, shout out to Kareem Grant. What's up, brother? Good to see you. Aspire58. Have you heard anything on the Heat dirty play? I think refs will be watching for that. I think they already started. They already started. Back in Game 5, we saw an adjustment where they were calling those moving screens. Also, there was a play. I forgot who it was, man. The guy camped out in the paint. And while Kyle Lowry was trying to find a shot, and he made the 3-point shot, while this guy was in the paint for like 6-7 seconds in a row. That was a major blown call. So turnover percentage, Miami Heat is doing a very good job not turning the ball over, and we are not. So we need to flip that tonight. And then offensive rebounds, we are first, but Miami Heat is way too high. That means that we're not doing our job on the defensive rebounding end. And that has to do with a lot of it with the long, well, there are, of course, the battles underneath the hoop. We just have to do a better job of that. Boxing out, looking at the angle of the ball coming off the hoop and stuff, anticipating where the rebound's going to go. But in terms of when Heat players are going up for 3-point shots, once the ball goes up in the air, our guys, our guards especially, have to kind of seep into that near the free throw line area on either side of the paint, near the nail, on both sides, to get those long rebounds. We have to corral those, get those out of Miami Heat's hands. We do those things, man, we're going to have a Game 7. We're going to have a Game 7 on Monday. Yes. All right, I'm going to wrap this up soon. The game's going to start soon, and I'm feeling really good. I feel great about this season in general. Winning that Game 5 was a beautiful reaffirmation of the type of team that we've been watching all year. They had their backs up against the wall, and they responded, and the same thing is happening tonight. Now, we just got to worry about tonight. Take care of business. We've won on Miami's floor before and in different fashions. So I expect that the Knicks are going to come out with much more. I mean, we seem to get off to like these odd starts. I want to see a nice, clean start from the Knicks where we totally control the pace of this game. I want the pace to be up, to be faster. That's one of the things that I like about the bench. When the bench comes in, they operate at a much faster pace. It makes it harder for the Heat to guard us. Now, we also end to make more mistakes. So we need to up the pace, but still control the ball. So not crank it to 11. Go to 9.5. That's it, 9.5. But control the ball, up the pace, not be so easy to guard, not wait basically for the defense to settle and set itself. No, attack before they're set. More transition buckets. And keep looking for the better shot. You may think you have a good shot, Julius, but snap past that ball to the next guy if he's even more open than you. And then in that guy, if there's a guy in the corner, a Knicks player in the corner, snap pass it to him. Just swing that ball around and get the easy corner threes are the easiest shots, the most easy high value shot in the NBA. If you're open, take it, make it happen. Look for it. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching this. Again, if you want hats and everything, there's links down below in the description. The store is open. There's a variety of cool stuff. There's T-shirts and jackets and hats and all that stuff. Definitely get it. I'm feeling a Game 7 coming for us, but it all comes down to execution. Let's go. All right, thank you so much for watching this. Again, my name is George. Please subscribe, hit the thumbs up button, and share this video. And I will see you after this game for a post-game recap. I might go live. Most likely will, especially if it's a win. All right, I'll see you.